Hello, beautiful light-filled souls. Today I would like to talk about the amazing Joe Dispenza workshop that I just went to, the last progressive workshop, and I would like to give a little bit of information about that amazing workshop, but you should check out his books and videos and more information from him. The basics of the workshop is that we're all addicted to certain emotions, and we wake up every day and we think about the same things, and we spend most of our time thinking about, these few moments in the past that define us, or what we're going to do in the next few minutes, and, our shower and our breakfast and then our work and, our day. And most of our time is spent not on the present moment. And so basically, he's reminding us the power of meditation and taking all of our energy away from all these past moments and future moments and really kind of reclaiming your energy right now. And then he's also, though, talking about it's very important to manifest for the future. And I've talked a little bit about my problems with manifestation, and he said something that just kind of blew up in my head, and I was like, yes, this is what I've been saying for so long. And the way he said it just made so much sense. So I've always said, and I'll go into some of the moments that I did manifest, that sometimes it takes a long time to manifest a small moment. And I had a lot of time after my near-death experience, and I did manifest a few things, which I'll go into. But then later I got busy with life, and I was traveling here, working there, and I wasn't spending as much time in manifesting anything or even meditation. And it seemed as if life got random at times. And that's exactly what Joe Dispenza said. He said that when you are not creating, then certainly randomness can come into your field. And I've said many times that I never manifested rape or stalkers or any of those situations, and that's accurate. That was just me in a space of not manifesting and kind of being open to the randomness of life. Now, what I did have control over was how quickly I healed or how much power I gave to that moment. And I think there's profound healing that can be found in work like Joe Dispenza's work for trauma victims. I think it would have been amazing if I would have found it at that time, but it would have, I think, decreased my anxiety and depression by really working with manifestation the way he details, and it would have helped me release these moments a lot quicker. So I think anyone who is dealing with trauma ought to look into these practices, because you can release things just a whole lot quicker. Well, so back to the workshop. If you were in the present moment and your energy is stronger in that moment when you've let go of everything, and you're working on what you want to manifest, well, your feelings dictate what you're going to think. And so a lot of people have talked about this, but he made it very clear that if you're in this great state of feeling, so if you already feel as if you have what you want and that makes you feel peaceful or joyful or whatever it makes you feel, that's the feeling that you should hang on to and have throughout your day and as much of your life as possible. And that makes you more of an energetic match for what you want. There's a lot more to it, of course. I think there's, of course, belief and visualization, and I'll get into how I manifested some things after my near-death experience. So I had a ton of time. I was in a body cast for 4 months after my accident and near-death experience, and I was just laying in bed and reading books on spirituality and then really connecting with my angels a lot. That veil was still quite open for me, and I could feel their healing energy, and I could visualize it coming into my body, and I assisted in that healing, and that was a wonderful and beautiful time. In fact, I didn't even take the painkillers I was given. I was in the hospital for 9 days, and the painkillers made me nauseous, and so I didn't take them, and I simply just used my mind to get beyond the pain, and I let the angels work on me, and that was just an amazing experience. Well, as I got a little better, I decided that I was going to lucid dream. And it took me a little longer than I thought. It took a full month of looking at my hand every night before I went to bed, and my hand was going to be my anchor. And in that moment, I would know that I could do whatever I wanted. Fly is what I really wanted to do. So a month later, I had this dream where I got into a Ferrari and I closed my hand in the door. And then I was like, ow, that hurts. And that was my anchor. I saw my hand. I was like, yes, I can lucid dream now. And I was on a date in that dream, and I was like, never really liked sports cars, but hope you have a nice life, guy. And then I was just flying in the air, and I decided, okay, what do I want to do? First, flight's wonderful. But then I decided I have all the power in the world. I want to create world peace. And so I wanted everyone to be happy and peaceful, and for there to be no pain on earth, and for everyone to have enough food. And so for peace and for abundance, I just saw golden light around every dwelling, and then even dwellings for people who didn't have dwellings. And so there was just this green heart energy that spread through the land, and then also this golden light that surrounded people. And in my mind, that was abundance. Well, after I made sure that everyone on earth was fine, then I thought, okay, what do I want to do for myself? And what I wanted to do for myself is really kind of silly, but they were hedonistic desires. But one desire was to make love to a few famous movie stars, but this wasn't really like making love. This was more just like quick blending of souls. Well, then I wanted to eat cake, wedding cake, and so I found this beautiful wedding. This Irish couple was getting married in a castle, and it was just so lovely. And I ate a lot of their wedding cake and danced and had fun. And then I still had time in the dream, and so I swooped around and flew through the sunset. And I thought, okay, I want to feel what it's like to be a genius. And so I picked Mozart, and I thought, I will pretend as if I am composing one of his operas in my head, and I've never heard it before. And so every note was coming to me as if I had thought of it, and it was just ringing in my brain, and it felt so amazing to be this musical genius. And I was flying through these pink sunsets, and I felt completely at ease. And then I flew back to my house and my body and woke up so happy. So that lucid dream was a ton of fun. And I thought, okay, if I can lucid dream, I must be able to manifest. And so it took about another month. I just picked a random scene. I should have picked like Publishers Clearinghouse coming to my door and giving me a lot of money, but instead I just picked something random, and I picked this guy wearing this Walt Whitman-like hat telling me that I needed to return to school, and that would be like the moment that I knew I needed to return and finish up my degree. Well, eventually I got into the out of the body cast and into a back brace, and some of the friends that I had met at a poetry group took me to a dance, just at a club, a band. And the minute I walked into that club, that exact guy that I pictured said those exact same things to me, and I was completely freaked out. I was like, oh wow, I manifested this scene. This is crazy. I mean, like, a lucid dream is one thing, but to manifest an actual scene that played out exactly the way I saw it in my mind. What? I control reality? I mean, that's so weird. So I kind of freaked out, and I thought, well, I kind of minimized what I'd done, and I thought, oh, well, it took a month of visualizing this one small scene. I probably can't manifest something big. It would take years to manifest something big. Well, so what? Why didn't I just dig in? Like, I really needed a mentor at that time. I was 22, and part of the time I wanted to fit in with my friends and not be too different than who I'd been before. And then another part of the time I really was interested in these spiritual realities because I'd crossed that veil and it was so real for me. Well, I believed in manifestation, but I also just kind of got too busy to think about it and absorbed into my life. And what Joe Dispenza said in the workshop about randomness, and how when we're not creating, well, then randomness can come into our lives. And there are many things that have happened to me that I've definitely said, I did not manifest that. I did not manifest that trauma. I didn't. That was just the randomness of life. I was not manifesting anything. I was just kind of an innocent walking through life, not thinking about my future or what I wanted. And, in those moments, the only power I had after those random events occurred was how quickly I could get over those moments. And I think that's an important thing to remember for anyone who has gone through anything traumatic. And Joe Dispenza gives a lot of interesting examples of people who have held on to a wound, whether it's a divorce or someone who's wronged them for 20 years, or 38 years, and, that defines who they are. Well, it's kind of ridiculous when you look at, something defining that much of your life. But we do that. We all do that to some degree. We hold on to something long past the time we should have let go of it. And, there's so much freedom and letting go of it and just claiming your energy right now, who you are. And I want you to do that. I think it's just powerful and profound what he has to say, and I know that we're all capable of it because this is simple and many of us have heard it many times. The main thing is dedicate the time in your life to manifest what you want and don't give up. It may take longer than you want, but if you dedicate an hour or 2 hours or, like longer periods of time to working on what you want and feeling those feelings that are associated with what you want and anchoring those and making that your body's new reality, then it will happen. And there were all kind of amazing stories of things that people have instantly manifested or quickly manifested, or Parkinson's disease that has cleared up, glaucoma. One guy in the group that no longer has glaucoma, and several people have cleared up a lot of issues. Certainly myself, I can say that I wasn't aware of the anxiety that I carried still within me, and that there still was a level of worry and anxiety and fear, and that just went away in that workshop. So those meditations were incredibly powerful and incredibly life-changing, really, because they're changing your brain and they're changing the way that you feel, which in a sense makes you a new person, a different person. Because when you feel differently, then you're going to act differently and make different choices, have a different vibration that pulls in something else. So I loved it. I hope you can attend one of his workshops because it's a lot different than simply reading one of the books or seeing a video. Some things in person are just so much more profound. But anyway, there's a lot to think about when it comes to manifestation, and I feel like I have a clearer idea that, okay, yes, just dedicate the time, and it's just like, I don't know, finishing a college class in a way. You just do the work, you do it every day, and then eventually you get that degree, like class after class. So maybe manifestation works quicker for others, but what are you going to do anyway? You might as well be working on it, what you want, and no matter how long it takes to overcome whatever emotions you have that might be holding you back or anchoring you in a different vibration, you might as well commit to the work that it takes and get into that space. And sometimes life gets hectic and, we all are thrown off course, but don't let that hold you back, and just keep going. And I'm with you on this journey, so may you be blessed. Please like and subscribe to this video and check out my Facebook page if you would like. And also follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and check out some of my posts about lucid dreaming and other topics. So thank you.